the Guitar Guy here. Today we're going to be doing some cool stuff using one of the coolest riffs. I think a lot of you guys, when you learn this, you're going to get so much out of this riff. Hey, Mark the Guitar Guy here, the crazy Kiwi guitarist that's here to awesomize your playing all around the world. Today we're going to be looking at a riff that moves through 3 scale shapes, and it's going to blow your mind. Here is the riff right here. Played badly. I'm going to do that again. Now that looks like a kind of complex riff. I'm going to play a couple of ways of doing it, and then I'm going to explain how we do it, because it actually is really simple. So I went up and down the scale, and I'm mucking around with it, obviously. But let's show you what this riff is, because it's super, super cool. Now the position I'm doing it in here is in A minor. Now here's my A, or in my A minor pentatonic. My pentatonic is right here, right? It actually starts 2 frets lower than that. So it starts in what I would call the 5th shape. So the 5th shape, the top part of the 5th shape, that's where I get the first few notes from, okay? So let's do this in A minor, so you can do it if you've got an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar, and then we'll do it in different positions and show you some cool stuff with that. So, the scale shape, I'm A minor, 2 frets below that, so we're at the 3rd fret. We're gonna do a 3rd fret, 5th fret, below that, 3, 5, I'm just gonna give you the tab, 3, 5, 7. That's the riff. Now if I pick it, every note, it's fine, but it sounds way cooler if we do it this way. We do a hammer on, 3 to 5. Then we do a hammer on, slide, 3, 5, 7. Slide at the end, okay? And when we continue this, I'll show you in a second, it sounds very, very smooth. The next notes after that, when we're in that position, so we're at the 7th fret, 3rd finger is on the 7th fret, on the 5th string. We go to a string below that, so we're going to the 4th string. We do exactly the same thing again. We're doing a hammer on, okay, that's 5, 7. Underneath that, hammer on, slide. Now a lot of people at this stage already lost. That's totally normal. It kind of feels like a lot already, but it's a lot simpler than you think. Let's go back to the very first part. 3rd fret, 3, 5, 3, 5, 7. That's the slide, okay? Now we're going to go down. Hammer on, 5, 7. 5, 7, 9. Slide, okay? Hopefully you're with me by now. So if you're at this stage, just practice that a few times. So you've got the... And you might not, maybe not all your notes are sounding great right now. It doesn't matter. The flow will happen the more you repeat this. So we end up at the 9th fret with the 3rd finger on the 9th fret. The next thing's exactly the same, but instead of going straight underneath now to this note here on the 7th fret, we're going to go to 8th fret. And we're going to go, so we're going from the 9th fret with our 3rd finger. We're going to creep our 1st finger over so that we can do this the same riff starting at the 8th fret. So it's 8, 10, hammer on. Then below that, 8, 10, slide to 12. And you'll notice it's the same notes every time. So that the riff is exactly the same, but an octave higher, then an octave higher again. So it's the same riff 3 times. Big gap, big gap. And you can sort of see that it moves from the 5th shape to the 1st shape, because it goes from the 5th shape, I'm sliding up, I'm now in the A minor home base, I call it, pentatonic, the 1st pentatonic shape. And from here, we slide up, but when we move up, we move out of the pentatonic, the 1st shape, into the 2nd shape. And where we use this little shape at the bottom. And we slide into the next shape again, which will be the 3rd shape. Doesn't matter too much about what shape they are at this stage for you as far as soloing goes. I'm going to show you some cool stuff with this, how to get this smooth, legato sounding, and then how to use it in soloing. So we're not just using it for this cool run, because the cool thing about this run, you've got to, let's face it, it looks cool when you go all the way from here and you end up way up on the side, high note way over here. So it looks like we've kind of covered a lot of the guitar, right? And it looks super cool, sounds super cool, because it is super cool. Let's do it again. Now to get the flow on, so that it sounds, so it doesn't sound like 3 riffs, we need to start the next riff kind of on top of the other one. So it feels like it's on top. So it goes bang, bang. And that doesn't sound, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 notes. So 5 notes doesn't sound very even. So it's going to sound a bit jerky. Because if we did it in time, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you've got a gap. But we get rid of the and. And I'd literally sat there watching my little black and white TV that I had, was a Valve TV. I'm pretty old, guys, and I used to watch the television show while I'd be practicing that riff when I figured it out. I actually got it from a Van Halen riff when I just discovered Van Halen. I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. I can't remember what song it was from, but it was super cool when I realized I could do a line that went all the way from here to here, because that's all I wanted to know. And it went. So I just sat there, went. You might notice you're picking every string once. Yeah, literally picking every string once. You're only picking that whole riff 6 times, 6 strings, yeah? And eventually it sounded more like that. Kind of cool, yeah? So, that's all very well, and it's an A minor, very cool. Let's do it in a different key. Let's change the key a little bit. Let's do it in D. D minor. Let's say we're doing cocaine. You have my permission to do cocaine, ladies and gentlemen, as long as it's this cocaine. And you do it responsibly, this song, alright? So now where would we do that? We're in the key of what? D minor. So we just do the same riff. Here's my D, I go back 2 frets, and we'd start the riff. Pretty cool, yeah? We could go on further. So you can get the idea, it's kind of a cool little riff, yeah? Now you might see in that little phrase, it doesn't really work to do the whole phrase because you kind of run out of beats before the thing has to start again. But sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. But you still use half of that phrase and it sounds super cool. It's also a super cool way to get into the scale shape. So you're into the D minor. So when you're here, why not use it to get up there? Sounds cool, yeah? I use it a little bit in the high one. Cool little ideas, yeah? A couple more ways of doing this riff. Now I've already shown you 2 ways of doing it. You get the idea. We could keep going on and on and on, showing you a whole bunch of ways and doing different keys with that. But let's just show you some cool stuff within that scale shape. We've got our first one. And our second one. The third one, instead of sliding, I actually like to bend that last one. We'll do something with it just to finish it off, so it's not just, because it kind of feels like you're left hanging on that last note, like, and you were saying, if you know what I mean. Yeah, what else? You kind of want to finish it off and resolve it, you know. So it makes sense with a phrase, but why not bend it? So kind of cool. Or don't even go near that note. Just finish off a little bit earlier. So we got, and then maybe start again in the middle, and then maybe slide up to the next scale. So you can sort of see I played in 3 different positions, pretty much 2 mainly, but you can kind of see how those cool little riffs came out of those shapes. Hopefully you can see that. So let's just solo for a little bit using that first one, okay? So I'm going to muck around with it and then come back to it. You'll hear that phrase. Your thing is to listen out for when I do that phrase. This is the phrase. Okay, so here we go. Pretty cool. Into the next phrase. The next one is, or have a listen out for that one now. Pretty cool, yeah? Pretty cool ideas. That's just one idea. Now if you combine that with the last lesson which I did was on sliding up to the scale position and sliding out, now we're going to get crazy. So D minor. Sliding up. That's what we're doing. We're sliding from nothing. Sliding out. Adding in the new idea. So we just did that at the beginning of that slide. Sliding up. Sliding up and the idea. Get the idea with that sort of stuff. So sliding up to the idea and using that little combined with just the basic scale shape that we have at that pentatonic. Man, we are throwing in technique after technique, idea after idea. The way to get this done is to play it over and over. Go find some awesome backing tracks and then you can really, really lift your game. Backing tracks are going to change your life, guys, and then you can get to jam with other people. You can play in a band and do this sort of stuff. Don't be afraid to try it out. I know if you're not into soloing or maybe you're just new to this, don't be scared. I know how scary it is. Eric Clapton was scared when he started. Jeff Beck was scared when he started. Steve Vai was scared when he started. Stevie Ray Vaughan was scared when he started. All of us did not have massive confidence going into this, but we all had to figure it out, including you, including them, and so you can be as amazing as them if you want to be. I believe in you guys. If you would love to get a lesson one-on-one with Mark the Guitar Guy, that's me. You can go to my Mark the Guitar Guy Facebook page, click on the Book Now button. You'll see a whole bunch of dates, some times available. They're already converted to time zones, so those times are available if it suits you where you are. Click on that and you can have a one-on-one session with me. We can work out a schedule and that sort of stuff, and I can look at your stuff and look at how amazing you are and what you are missing, maybe little bits here and there, and we can just transform who you are. Otherwise, subscribe and like all that cool stuff. I am looking forward to awesomizing you guys very, very soon. Mark the Guitar Guy signing off. Oh, I feel that cocaine in my bloodstream. See you later.